Mabuhay, this is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. Your Filipina loves you so far or forever. I want to talk about that today since love and foreigners and Filipinas comes up quite a bit in the context of they don't love you, they don't love foreign men. And I know there's a lot of breakups that you read about, can't deny that, but yet most everybody will say that, she loved me, I loved her, and then marriages break up. So how do we make sense of all that? That's what I want to talk about, and I'll try to be brief here today in Love Beyond the Sea. Please subscribe. I've got lots and lots of videos about points that are about marriage and how to stay married. Yes, I've got a lot of videos about meeting and online and pursuing, and you can see that in the playlists on YouTube on Love Beyond the Sea. Check out my affiliate link for Kristen Filipina, where I met my wife. And I have also had to, deal with this issue of love, and I make those videos from time to time. I see once in a while someone will say, well, they love me so far, so far so good, or we've been married a year or two and, and they love me. And yet I know that it's a marathon. Marriage is a marathon, not a sprint. Anybody can say, I love you, because a woman knows that a Westerner is going to fall for that every time. When was the last time he had a Western woman say, I love you? When was the last time that Western woman was a young woman? When was the last time that Western woman was an attractive woman? And it's a ploy, I think, most of the time. If you hear it early on, whatever that means, a month or two from just online communication, it's a good way for a Filipino to keep the guy there, knowing that he's not going to go somewhere else because he heard her say she loves him and she knows he's going to believe her. And I just feel like, it's too easy to get duped. She can't love him. She doesn't even know what he's like. She doesn't know what he's like when he's lost his temper, when she's crossed him for the umpteenth time, when she does something he forbids, when she spends too much money, or she has no idea how he's going to really be. She has no idea who he really is. I don't think he knows who she really is either. And the way to find out is to get married. You can even spend significant time together, but that's not the same thing as being married. Being married is when you pull the goalie, when you get rid of the safety net, and there's no going back. And that's what I want to help people with who are willing to make that kind of a commitment to a woman from the Philippines. And I don't care if she's from the Philippines or Timbuktu. This is the way you have to love someone. I wouldn't get too worked up if somebody said they love me, and what does that even mean? Haven't spent time in person, you chat for a while, maybe even every day, but that doesn't mean anything. And if you think I'm not being sensible, let me know. It's just I feel so strongly about this that a lot of men go wrong with a Filipina because they have bought into this I love you talk. And really what it is, even if you've been married for just a short while, it's, I don't know, I like you. I'm glad that you got me out of the Philippines. I'm glad that I can have, a couple extra pair of shoes, or I can have a nice purse, or I don't have to go out in the heat and work all day. And that's not really love. That's gratitude. Gratitude is not bad. There's nothing wrong with gratitude. We should be have gratitude for everything in life, even the negative stuff. Yes, thankful even for the things we don't like, if we have the proper worldview. As far as love and marriage, don't worry about it. Tell her, look, I'm fond of you, and I want to marry someone. I think you'd make a good wife. I want to commit to you. would you marry me? Something like that. And then, when you're married, say, look, I'm going to tell me what I need to do to love you. What do you need from me to make you feel loved? I'm going to do that. Otherwise, I'm not loving you if I think I am, but you don't think I am. How can I love you? What does that mean to you? For you to feel love from me, I need to do what? And then do it. And keep finding ways to do that. And no matter what she says about how she feels about you, those feelings will go stronger. Person can get by in a year or two on, I don't know, adrenaline, emotion, just the newness of the situation, and they think everything is good for the rest of their life. No. It must be day by day, making investments in your marriage. Don't rely on her to keep the marriage going. Rely on yourself and God, of course, to do the right things to keep that marriage together. It's going to be hard. There's some days you're going to probably wonder if you shouldn't have married a Western woman, or if you shouldn't have stayed single. That's just life. That's just marriage. That's just anything. So sometimes we can be frozen by the word love or the phrase I love you until you've been married a while and you can really tell in her voice and you've survived some tough times together, whatever that means. Then I don't know that you really know, and I don't know that she really knows. People just say this, I love you. I think it's one of the most overused phrases in the world, and people manipulate other people by saying, I love you. I'd rather say, prove it. Somebody says they love me, prove it. And then if I say I love you, I would hope they would say, prove it. How do you love me? That's grown-up talk there, but when you get married, you can't go by feelings. You have to go by actions, and sometimes you got to turn your brain off and say, this doesn't make any sense, she doesn't deserve it, but I'm going to love her anyway. And I think it's better if the husband has that perspective. So, does she love you so far? Well, I hope so. It'd be nice to fast forward 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and feel more confident about it. I'd like to think that the longer you stay married, assuming you're not just avoiding issues, that the stronger the marriage is going to be, the greater the communication is, the better the understanding is. Some people stay together, they're afraid to argue. They're afraid to disagree. They're afraid to get upset because they feel like the relationship might not be able to handle that. Maybe their spouse won't love them if they see this side of them. Well, that's how it is. Things are going to get dirty eventually. So I just want to say, and I sound like a fuddy-duddy with this, but don't fall for I love you. Don't fall for it. I'd let it go in one ear and out the other. And then learn what it means to love that person, which basically comes down to meeting their needs, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, no matter what, no matter how she acts. If you can do that, she's going to love you. I think it's going to be genuine, and you're going to be fine. I just think you're going to have to go through some bumps in the road before you know for sure. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm not trying to scare anybody off the path of looking for a wife in the Philippines. I just know so many people say, well, after 7 years, she's going to leave you, and, Western marriages they don't last, and everybody will tell her something bad about you, and, she's going to leave you. You can counteract all that by loving her. Then you can worry about whether she loves you. Chances are she will, but I think the man has to love her first. So that's my spiel here today. Please leave a comment. And if you would, subscribe to Love Beyond the Sea.